So my camera let me record half of this, then mysteriously shut off and is now being weird. So let's hope my camera is still working. Yeehaw! So hello everyone. Today, for the second time I'm gonna record this, I am gonna be talking about my tattoo. So this is my experience getting my first tattoo. This is what it looks like right now. It's been about 3 weeks since I got it done. So it is like pretty healed up, not really having any sort of like scabbing or anything happening with it. This probably will be a long video, so I'm gonna try and go ahead and hop right into it. So I basically follow a lot of tattoo artists on Instagram. One of them I follow is Woozy Machine Tattoos. Love their art style. And they posted this image and I was like, comedic genius, love these tattoos. Gonna go like swipe through their Instagram again and just like appreciate their work because I love this art style. And I saw that they were coming to Vancouver and I was like, I live right by Vancouver. I have availability during the time that they're here. I should get a tattoo. I had been planning on getting a tattoo for my graduation present to myself. Happy bachelor's degree. I had actually had something completely different planned that was like a lot more detailed and kind of intensive, but I figured like, hey, I already really know I love this artist and this is like gonna be really like once in a lifetime kind of opportunity sort of thing for me with all of this lining up so well. I'm just gonna go for it. So I basically sent them an email saying, hey, I'd love to have some art by you on me. Do you have space for me? Do you have room for me? And they emailed me back saying that they did, and they sent me their Dropbox because the artist, Woozy, only does their own art, which I kind of liked just because it made it kind of like simpler on me, that I just gotta choose like an image that I enjoyed and gotta have it put on me. These were the two of the like 60 plus basically that I saw that I really liked that I sent back to him and I was like, hey, I'm interested in these two, and the bird one ended up being what we chose, and they emailed me again after we chose it and was like, P.S. we can also do a yellow beak, and I was like, yes, yellow, love yellow. Got that all sorted, I sent them my deposit, and then it was a few months basically until June. Did I get it in June? Yeah, so it's still in the spring when we sorted that all out. And then basically the week before my appointment, I emailed again just to be like, hey, just confirming everything's good with the appointment. Also, I let him know it was my first tattoo and I asked if there was anything that he wanted me to know coming into it. And eventually he responded being like, hey, just don't be hungover and everything will be good and we're all set to go. And I was like, sweet. The appointment was at Black Sabbath Tattoo, I believe it's called, in Vancouver, which is in the Chinatown area. My roommate, thankfully, came along with me. And my appointment was at noon. So we hopped in the car and we headed out. We got there about, I think, 40 minutes before my appointment. So we went and grabbed some food for lunch. I also had packed a granola bar, had a water bottle with me, had a little bit of a breakfast before we left, so ate some food and went to the parlor. It was actually kind of funny. There were a bunch of people waiting outside and I had never been here before and I wasn't sure like exactly what door was the door to the shop because I don't think they had a like big sign or anything. So I just saw a bunch of people standing and waiting outside and I was like, well, they don't open till noon, which is when my appointment was, so I just figured like they're not open yet, all of us have appointments. There were maybe like, I don't know, 10 of us waiting in little like groupings. So I was just like, oh, okay, like maybe everybody's got an appointment or maybe they're trying to book a walk-in. I don't know. I'm just gonna like stand and wait around. And then it was getting to like 5 minutes before my appointment and I was like, okay, I should be able to probably go inside by now. And then I saw someone else just walk right into the shop and I was like, oh, the shop's right there and it's open. So I start to go to walk in and one of the people standing outside waiting was like, hey, there's a line. And I was like, for an appointment, I have an appointment. Do you all have appointments? And he was like, oh, no. And I was like, okay, I have an appointment. They were confused. I was confused. Apparently, there was a flash sale going on that day and I had no clue about it. But I basically went in and went up to the front desk, was like, hey, my name's Mary, I have an appointment with Woozy, and they gave me some paperwork. It was pretty basic stuff, just being like, yes, I consent to this. I understand that it could put me at, like what I thought was interesting, could put me at risk for having a harder time identifying skin cancer. Super interesting thing to think about with tattoos. But yeah, I signed off on that. They took a look at my ID to make sure I was the right person and I was set to go. And so then Woozy came in really nice guy from England. It was just kind of like a chill experience. Came in, he made some of, what are they called, stencils? I think stencils. So he had made one that was a little bit smaller, or a little bit bigger. I don't remember if it was smaller or bigger than what I had imagined, but we like kind of held it up, put it on, looked at it, and I was like, oh, not quite right, so we printed out another one, and so I could get a really good idea of like the placement and stuff like that. I chose to have it on my thigh just because, like, there's 1,000 reasons why. It's just exactly where I wanted it to be and where I saw it. Sorry, I'm looking at it right now. Being on myself and being a place that I could pretty easily cover up if I chose to. Also could have it uncovered if I chose to. Just seemed like the right spot, and I also knew it would be a pretty, like, in the relative scale of pain, less painful location than than a place where it's like more bony. I don't know why my hands are an example, but like, you know, wrists, like anywhere where you can like feel bones. Once that all was done, he shaved my leg, which I had like shaved it the night before because I was like, you know, want to be, or the morning of. Took like a thorough shower, wore lots of deodorant. I was like, I'm not gonna be like a smelly, gross person for you having to put ink on my body. I thought this was really funny. He like got a bunch of Purell, slathered it on my leg, and then shaved it with the Purell. I was like, oh, this is weird, I don't know. Like, makes sense, like disinfect and clear it all off at the same time. Trying to make sure I'm not missing anything, but like, put the stencil on. Everything looked good. And then we got started. I say we as if I actually did any of this. He was using really thick needles because again, this has really bold lines and only 2 colors, which is the black and the yellow. So we started out with the nest, which was like a good spot. He did like a little line. He was like, just so you know how this feels, and trying to explain the feeling of a tattoo. Now I get why it's so difficult because it is really like its own thing. I think if you've been stabbed with a needle before, or it is like that, but just repetitive. It also has an audio aspect, and if the audio is something that doesn't irritate you, then like you're fine, but the whirring the tattoo gun makes really reminded me of getting a filling. So there was some aspect of that where it's just like, okay, repetitive sound combined with pain or discomfort, which kind of reminded me of getting a filling, but then also like of a sewing needle or like getting stabbed. And how it is like they're tearing up the skin. So it's also kind of similar to like getting a rug burn or getting like a falling on asphalt and like scraping up your knee or something like that. It hurt, no denying that. I'm not someone who I think is like really good with pain tolerance or really bad with pain tolerance. I feel like I'm right in the middle, where I've had some painful experiences. I am a thorough. My biggest problem when I go through something painful is I'll not breathe. I'll hold my breath until the pain passes. That isn't a problem I had with when like through this experience. I also got to watch him as he worked because it was right on my thigh, so I just like was sitting up and he was working on me and I just gotta like watch the thing. One thing I like, my roommate was telling me about this, I really struggled with deciding if I found it more comfortable to watch it happen or to look away, because in some aspects, in my opinion, watching it happen like felt more painful because I could see like my body getting hurt, but also it was really weird to look away and then look back and see how much progress had happened and being like, whoa. The nice thing about this tattoo is because it was so simple, it was really, really quick, and I think it took only 45 minutes total. We didn't take any breaks. I found I didn't really need to stop, and again, that maybe might have just been me. He was really, the tattoo artist was super, super nice to me, told me I did a really awesome job for it being my first tattoo, which like me being the people pleaser that I am, I was like, yes, thank you for the praise. But yeah, I didn't have any problems and that we needed to stop at any time. I could drink some water in between when he was doing lines and stuff like that. We did all of the nest and he put some numbing spray on, which I didn't really notice did anything for me. I really didn't feel that it numbed anything for me. It still felt like about the same amount of pain, but I don't know, maybe it works for other people. Maybe we didn't leave it on long enough. I don't know. But yeah, we did all of the nest and then he did the outline of the bird. And once we had done the outline of the bird, I was like, okay, I know the painful part is coming with filling it all in because it had been pretty painful so far, and I was like, okay, I just want to get it done because I know that that's like a lot to fill in. It actually went super quick with filling it in. Part of that again is because we were using a really thick needle, so it didn't take very long. And then we kind of let it all set after we did all the black, and to try and prevent the black ink from mixing with the yellow ink for the beak. And then we went in and did the beak. I chose to have just the beak be yellow, the outline. He did offer for me to do the inside of the beak yellow and then the outline to be black. This is kind of like just aesthetically what I thought looked cool. It's probably gonna end up fading with the yellow. So again, I don't know how it's gonna look over time. That was an aesthetic choice that I made though, and I'm thankful that they let me make that choice. So then he didn't really give me any care advice, but I didn't really ask for it. So kind of how that went was he was telling me he was going to put Sanoderm on it, and I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of it, I already picked some up. So I think I kind of gave him the vibe that like I kind of knew had a plan for how I was going to care for my tattoo afterwards. And so how I chose to do my aftercare is he put the Sanoderm on, and when we were all done, I kept that on for 24 hours. A fair amount of liquid did come out of my tattoo. I think I probably have video of these parts that I can put in, and that was mostly plasma or ink, so it kind of turned into a weird like browny black color. Definitely looked gross. Kept that on for 24 hours, and then I went ahead and peeled it all off, washed it off, and applied a new layer of Sanoderm, which didn't feel as comfortable. Definitely I didn't have any more like liquid leaking from my tattoo after that first day, and so I think things got a little dry under the Sanoderm, and I think I had it sealed and on good, but I don't know. So I kept that second layer of Sanoderm. The website recommended up to 6 days, so I got the tattoo on Saturday, replaced it on Sunday, and then I kept it on until Friday. And on Friday, by Friday, it had started to get a bit itchy, and I like couldn't tell for sure, but I thought it might have been flaking underneath the Sanoderm, and I was like, okay, I think it's about time for me to remove this anyway. So I went ahead and removed it, washed it off, and then started putting Aquifer on it, which is a petroleum-based product. It's basically really good for if you're trying to heal injuries. It creates like a thick layer, a protectant layer. So that's what I was using for the first couple of days. I also coupled that along with my everyday lotion. I use kind of an all-natural based everyday non-scented lotion that I put on my skin after every shower because I do have naturally dry skin. So I would also put that on right after I got out of the shower, and then once that had kind of like all soaked in, which like it's not like a really oily lotion or anything, so it's pretty quick, I would go ahead and put on some Aquifer on top of that, and that seemed to work really well for me. I think it's healing very well. If anyone wants to disagree with me, that's fine, but it looks how I think it should have looked. Black looks good. And so in retrospect, it's funny, during the moment of the tattoo, I was like, I don't think I'll get any more I think this will be it. This hurts. But now, having, you know, had some space away from the pain and enjoying what I'm looking at, I can definitely see myself getting more tattoos in the future. I have no plans as of now, except for maybe getting a Miu Ichigo thigh tattoo of her little, like, emblem. I've thought about it. That would just not be a fun location for healing for me because jeebies. I overall found the experience to be really good. If you ever have the chance to work with Woozy Machine Tattoos, I would highly recommend it. They were just like friendly, super chill guy. I'm not super chatty when it comes to like appointments anyways, whether that be like a hair appointment, anything like that. I don't really have a lot to say. I'm kind of bad with talking to strangers or people I don't know. But they were just really friendly, asked me, you know, had some conversation. We also seemed fine with just working and focusing, which I enjoyed. I didn't like feel guilty about not really saying anything. Yeah, I found all of this to be like a fine experience. Took a picture or photo of my tattoo and posted it, which was kind of nice to have like a cute photo right after I got it done. I wore what I wore. I feel like it's an important thing to talk about too. I really went for comfort, so I actually wore, this is a bodysuit from Girlfriend Collective. I wore this because it's a sports bra. It's really covering. I felt very much like comfortable in it. And then I wore a skirt that I also feel super comfortable in. It's a long skirt, so I know it would cover it up. I didn't know how long I was going to be outside that day, so I didn't want to have to worry about sun damage, so covered up, but also was really lightweight so that if it was really hot out, I wouldn't feel like overheating in a wool skirt or anything like that. It's actually my favorite skirt. I love it so much. Also had a jean jacket that I just kind of like held on to because I get really sweaty when I'm in pain. I'm also just a really sweaty person, but yeah, especially like being in pain, I sweat a lot. I think it's like stress sweat, I guess. Haven't told my parents yet. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Don't hate me. The soap I used to wash my tattoo was Dr. Bronner's unscented baby. It's like Castile soap. The most basic soap, like nothing added to it ever. I don't love using antibacterial stuff because it's really not that good for us. And I know a lot of people use them for tattoos because it is good for antibacterial, but I just try and avoid it whenever I can. So it's totally fine if that's what you want to use. That isn't what I chose to use. Dr. Bronner's is also recommended. The baby, nothing added, unscented, super simple stuff. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to put them in the comment section below. I'm also gonna link Woozy's Instagram so you can check them out because you should, because they're really a wonderful artist. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, follow me on Twitch if you want to see my Twitch streams, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. Hit my glasses.